Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Frank and Candid for today. Of course, we were not with you yesterday. I hope you were listening to the press conference by the Ministry of Education. I think it provided us with some food for thought, especially in light of what's happening in the wider Caribbean region with respect to the results, the recent CXC results, both CSEC and CAPE. Before we get into our discussion today, I am asked to remind that two things. With respect to the stimulus package that is being provided by Social Security, that those persons who are eligible, and remember, if you submitted your application after the 18th of September, even if the application were completely correct, you will not be recognized. You will not be accepted for the package this month, this one-off payment for the month of September. But all those who would have adequately completed the registration, so to speak, before the 18th of September, your checks are now available at the office. You're also asked to note that this time around, no money is sent or paid into your bank account. All payments are being made by check, which means you have to turn up in person with your ID, of course, at the Social Security office where you'll be issued with your check. All payments this month, please, are being issued via check, so do not go to your bank expecting any monies to have been deposited there. All right? And please remember, if you would have submitted your application after the 18th of September, it would not be processed. I'm also asked to remind that the St. Kitts National Men's Council, we had the president here with us the other day. They're having a meeting tomorrow, Wednesday, at 5 o'clock at the Newtown Community Center, and all men, young men, middle-aged men, older men, whether they live in close proximity to the venue or you're far away, and we don't know if in St. Kitts anywhere is far away from any other place, you're invited to be there. You don't necessarily have to be considering becoming a member, although that would be nice, but you can attend and listen in, look on, ask questions, take note, and decide whether you'd like to support the Men's Council or not. We think that in times like these, a vibrant Men's Council would very well be an asset. Of course, if you think that the Men's Council needs new leadership, that nothing is wrong with thinking along those lines, then you can come and make that point made, and you can also offer yourself for leadership in the Men's Council. So tomorrow, Wednesday, 30th September 2020, meeting of the St. Kitts National Men's Council at 5 p.m. at the Newtown Community Center. Everybody knows where that is. Okay, thank you for paying attention to those notices. Today we have another open line, and we might want to discuss a number of issues which are extant. Not extinct, but extant. They are current, they are immediate, they are with us at the moment, and we like to make sure that we accommodate them so that we can best adjust ourselves and make our contribution in the most sensible and effective and efficient way, as well as we would like to benefit from them maximally. So, yesterday we had the discussion, the press conference by the Ministry of Education, and we would have learned a couple of things. It is interesting that a number of issues are raised, some of which bear heavily on what I myself would have mentioned in one or two of these Frank and Candid sessions. You can call us here at 465-2555 whenever you wish. The lines are open, remember? Good. Yes, let's take this first caller. Hello. Okay, call again. Let's take another one. Hello.
Good morning, Dr. Blake.
Yes, sir. How do you do?
Oh, how do? I'm do and to do.
All right, then.
As usual, so bright boy. Anyway, Brother Blake.
Yes, sir.
I like to educate my people in what they don't know. Not that they cannot learn, but if they don't know who know, should teach those who do not know.
Of course.
Now, I talk about a problem last week, and many persons testify to the fact that they experience it. Now, here what happened. I gave them enough time. This financial institution gave them enough time to get their act together. Now, person who send the money to me from England, from America, tell them, listen, what is taking place down here? They said that they don't have no US and they don't give in US. I said, no. When me money, just like how me money come to me, give it to me, so. Now, me family in America, they call the headquarters in America. The 1-800 number, and they talk to them. And they tell her that they down here have to give me the receiver the money just like how it was sent to me.
Okay.
And if they don't do that, call them back in America, the headquarters. Well, just now, India, my other half went for the money, and here what they're telling the other half. They don't have no US, they don't give in US. And she tell them, well, according to what they said from the headquarters, when you get US, you give me a call and tell me come for me money. Well, how is it? They don't have no money to give you the receiver, but if the receiver double back in, they go buy US, they're going to get it to sell. And then here what they're telling me, madam, no US in the country. National Bank don't have no US because the border closed. Border closed with VIA, email, not wiring. So you mean all the US money the bank make before the gate close. From the moment they hear the gate going close, they send them back out of the country. So she come telling about National Bank, the richest bank in the Leeward Islands is National Bank.
Yeah, let me make a comment here. I don't think that the agency can speak for any bank, not for National Bank or for any other bank. They certainly can't do that. But did you say that the institution informed your better half that their policy or principle is not to give monies in US?
Exactly.
Well, that's a different case altogether from saying that there is no US. Which one is it? That they have no US or that they do not?
They do not give US from India.
So then that's a different matter altogether.
Yeah. So she give me the phone. The lady talked to me. I said, Miss, come and tell you something. You hear what the headquarters of your business say? That you have to give the receiver the money just like how it was sent to them from the sender. So one answer you come telling them that you all don't give US, all you give EC, and then National Bank don't have no US.
How about speaking with the manager or the boss, whoever he is, whatever title he carries, he or she, of the facility?
Well, the lady who spoke to me, I don't know if she's the boss, the CEO or what, but she took the phone from my other half and she was talking to me.
Right.
So and she's the one who tell me National Bank don't have no US.
Oh my goodness.
I asked her, well, how you know that? And what that got to do with me money was sent from America for me? So I said, listen, I know enough of my rights to defend my rights. And I am going on the airwaves with you business again in here today. So tune in to ZZ 11 o'clock this morning. I'm going in there with it because you don't know your place. Or you want to take advantage of people who you feel like do not know their rights. And if somebody do not know their rights, somebody could advise them about their rights. Do not take advantage of people. Don't do it. It is wrong.
Yeah, I think this calls for the intervention of some other entities, some other facilities, some higher governing agency to make a decision on that.
That's right.
How?
The headquarters in America tell the sender, make sure you got your receipt, and if you don't get your money, tell them send back your money, and they're going to deal with down here from up there.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brother Blake.
Thanks a lot, I appreciate that.
Yeah, okay.
You're saying something, brother? Because it's important. You get yours in US. So, okay, so it is not a policy as such. It is not an instruction from any government agency or from the central bank that they do not dispense money in US. They're supposed to actually. I'm hearing from another individual, ladies and gentlemen, that he does in fact receive his monies in U.S. currency whenever he has opportunity to be sent some from abroad. So it cannot be then that the institution is instructed from another higher authority not to dispense monies in U.S. dollars. So that has to be organized. I think that really needs some intervention. I don't want to get involved. I cannot get involved in everything, but I can certainly do certain things in certain areas. But I really believe that from my vantage point here and from a layman's point of view, that if John Brown in New York sends $100 US for me here in St. Kitts, I don't see why I cannot get that in US. Even if I don't get $100 US, which is what he sent, for example, I might get 95. Right? Because, monies have to be deducted for whatever transaction, whatever processes. Right? Although John Brown could have paid for those in New York, which means that I should get the full $100 US, but I should get the funds in US. If someone can call in and explain to me why should I not expect to get the funds in US, I'd be very happy to know that. Someone who can speak authoritatively on that. All right. So, and if according to the caller, the head agency, the headquarters, as it were, from the sending facility is insisting that the receiver should get it in US, that again needs to be explained, as we said before. Let's take another caller. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Blake. Good morning.
Good morning.
And an interesting question or issue. I'm not speaking authoritatively, but this has highlighted again what COVID is doing and what is showing up. Now, the legal tender in St. Kitts and Nevis is the EC dollar, not the US dollar. And one of the things that many people may not realize...
No, I don't think you should say it's legal tender. I mean, the official currency. There's a difference now.
Right.
The official currency is EC dollar.
Well, you can call it that.
Because these other currencies, we have some other currencies which are legal tender. In other words, they can be legally... they can be used for legal transactions, legally accepted for transactions.
If you want to use that terminology. So let's just make the point, though.
Yes.
Because it could be one of that, but that's the official currency. Yes. But the point is that, in actual fact, the central bank, the Banking Act, would have certain things that specifies that.
Okay.
So there's no obligation for someone to return monies in US dollars. Now, this is a different thing from the agencies you're speaking about, but this is just the point I want to make.
Yes.
The issue about U.S. currency circulating is a very important point within this COVID, because normally we make foreign exchange earnings with tourism. When people come in and they bring in the U.S. dollars, that is why also you want to always be able to facilitate the movement in the banks. That is, you don't want to do things that somebody mentioned about putting on taxes and so on. You have to be very careful, because you always want foreign currency to flow through the banks so that when you are able to go there, you can get the foreign currency as well.
Yes.
To send out. However, because of COVID and we don't have the tourist inflow, I haven't seen the statistics, but there would have been a decrease in the flow of U.S. dollars here. That is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a fact. By what extent, how much, I don't know. It would be interesting, though, to get something official from the banks or from the central bank as to whether or not, in a case like what you just mentioned, whether the agency has an obligation to give foreign currency, because they have to get the foreign currency from the bank here. And maybe National Bank itself is realizing, the bank itself can go to the central bank, but the central bank gets its inflow also from the monies that the bank itself would have given at some point to the central bank. So it's a circulating, how should I say? It's a circulating process, and it is interesting, but it's something that needs to be clarified.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think you're making a valid point, but I think what we were suggesting here is that the particular agency has no authority, has no right to speak on behalf of National Bank or of any other bank. In other words, if I go to MoneyGram or Western Union, they cannot tell me National Bank or Royal Bank or whichever bank doesn't have any. They can't do that.
Well,
I don't think they have the authority to speak for the other bank.
Sense,
yeah. But
There needs to be something official.
But we can
That's
very,
the point you're making.
we can very well understand that.
They may just be giving some extra information as to why they're not doing it. Maybe they should not give that information. They might just say, well, we can't give you in that currency right now.
Right.
I don't know, but I'm just saying that it would be a fact that we would have had a decrease in the flow of US dollars circulating here.
Certainly, no one can dispute that. But I think that only National Bank can tell me that there is no US currency there. Only Royal Bank can tell me there is no currency there. Only First Caribbean can tell me there. In other words, no extraneous institution can speak for another in my books.
No, you have a very good point.
Right.
I said we just need, even for generally speaking, some clarification from the banks, from the central bank about that issue.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. Thanks a lot. But clearly, the lady is correct, very correct. It only stands to reason. It only stands to reason that with the decreased flow of international traffic, we have a decreased amount of US foreign currency coming in. Let's take this caller. Hello.
Mr. Blake.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
If you, let's say okay, I'm overseas, I send some money for you.
Yes.
I send you 100 US.
Yes.
I'm looking for for them to give you in the 100 US because I don't expect them to have currency. I mean EC for all those US money that they said that people sending here for the people. Because when you go, they're gonna tell you want what you want it in EC or US. You say US, some get it in US and some get it in EC. Yeah, I think enough US coming down to give people the US money. Let them get it exchange however they could. If they want to go and spend it like that to the shop, fine. But you don't be telling people them kind of things.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you understand where I'm
definitely,
coming from.
yeah, I definitely understand your point. So, in other words, people should have a choice whether they want to accept it.
It come down in US. Give them in US. Because that is what the sender is looking for them to get it in US. Now, let's say you get it in let's say, okay, they're sending it in US. You might get the money in order to go overseas for medical or something, and they rush it down to you. So you're going to take the EC to go back to the bank to get it in US, and then you go up there to buy US by the banks, and sometimes they tell you they don't have no US.
Exactly, right, yeah.
They don't sell US.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're going away, they tell you so.
Some cases, yes.
Yeah, some of the banks, so it's better if they give you in the US because the send it in US, so give you in US because they're going to have enough US there to give out to the people who come in to collect the money.
One assumes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay then, darling.
Thank you very much. And that applies, I suppose, to whether it be British pounds or the euro or Canadian dollars, whatever the currency is, one should be able to accept it or receive it in that said currency. But of course, there's a special case to be made for US currency because that being the universal currency, and that is the one that people, want to have and want to travel with and so on. But let's take this caller. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
To you, sir.
Yeah, I just want to support the last caller there. I think the last caller made a very valid point. And not only that, when you're sending money from abroad, especially US and Canada, you pay to have this transaction done in a particular way. You sign a document saying how you want the money to be sent.
Mm-hmm.
From that standpoint, coming here, the obligation is that your money should be paid to you in the currency as being demanded at the time when the money was sent.
Right.
So when you get to here and you're saying about, hey, they don't have enough money and all that kind of stuff, that's an obligation of the person who's supposed to disperse the money to you. And that's how it is. In any case, that's why they ask you, do you want it in EC or do you want it in US?
Yeah, but you notice that
a lot of times when you change the money over, and every time you change it and go for transaction, you're losing on your US dollars.
Yeah,
and that's not fair. That's not fair to anybody. They're making double interest on it.
Yeah.
Double service charges on it. You pay up there and you pay down here.
Right.
And that shouldn't happen. So I totally support this to the caller that just before the last caller. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and appreciate that. Okay. Right, let's take another caller. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
I want to pick up the young female cadet who won the jail on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if she continues, she will reach far.
Okay. Thank you, Sister Isaac, the 17-year-old, I think she is, or 19, who won the dual competition, which is remarkable in a number of ways. You know, I'm sure she might have been the youngest participant on parade, and one of very few females, and a cadet at that. A lot of things in her favor. Congratulations. Let's take this other caller.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, anytime you send money, because I send money home on a regular basis, and they always said, if you want them to deliver it in US or EC dollars.
You mean you were asked that question at the point of sending?
Yes, at the point of sending.
Right.
They look at the country that you're sending it to, and if they use US or guildos or whatever,
right,
they would ask you, what do you want them to deliver it in? EC, guildos, or whatever currency you use.
Wow. So that when it gets to the receiving country, there should be no question as to...
No question I ask.
So it should
because it's already there. It's already there. The information is already there.
Right, and that's already been agreed upon.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for that input. Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Yes, sir. Let's take another caller. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
To you.
Teacher Blake. Just hearing the conversation on the radio. Am I missing something? Are we missing something? If monies are being sent to you through these money transfer
agencies,
entities, is it not possible that the money is being wired? So if somebody send the money to me this morning, they can call me this morning and say, look, go by Western Union or go by MoneyGram. I just sent $200 for you. In less than like 2 hours, you could go there and collect it. So what I'm saying is that if it's a wire transfer, it's not physical money coming through the wire and coming and landing in the cash register at these companies. So
everybody knows that.
Yeah, so then just like how you made the reference of, the circulation of the foreign currency at this point in time in our time, what's going on.
Yes.
That they wouldn't have adequate amount because, you would have to, maybe the bank give them an advance in terms of that cash to give people in the currency that it was sent in. But,
right.
It might not be always possible. So
in
this time, people just have to kind of, try and understand and work with it.
I think if the respective agencies were to explain that to the customers, I think they'd leave much more satisfied. But just tell them, I'm not giving you in US. You can't get it in US. National Bank ain't in US. I think that's the issue, But what you just explained really makes a lot of sense. And if that were to be explained to the folks, hey, listen, this money was wired 2 hours ago. I mean, and it takes time and so on, and it takes up. It's a process and so on. And at the moment, we just don't have that amount of
that's
US
right.
and so on. That I think people would be reasonable and accept that, but I don't think that is done because a lot of people when they're in a position of authority, whether they be large or small authority, they just like to ride roughshod over people and tell you can't get this and you can't get that without any proper explanation. But I really much like that not input.
Yes. I think it's a customer service issue right there at the counter.
Definitely.
Because you're so right. Thanks. Have a good day.
Thanks, man. You too. Right. And again, I say they can't be speaking for other banks and telling people this bank doesn't have that and so on. Let the individual go to the bank and find out for him or herself. Yes, sir. Hello, caller. Hello.
Yes, I'm glad that person put it that way. Because that's the point I was trying to make. That you're talking different things about currency and cash. They send it in U.S. currency, it could be wired or whatever, just paper. It's a digital or whatever transfer. But if you're asking for the cash here, you have to have physical cash here.
That's the point.
And there has been evidently a big decrease in the cash coming in.
Right.
And therefore they may not be able to give you in cash. Because yes, when you're transferring from one to another, they ask you what currency is it. Of course, there's a lot of cash around. There's no issue. But now there is an issue. But and that is, as I said, the COVID thing has highlighted quite a few things. This being one of them.
Right.
But it is, as you had indicated, perhaps there should be some statement. But banks do not like to reveal more than they need to reveal.
And perhaps they ought not.
The fact that they do not. And this person maybe just over the counter just say, well, it's because the thing not giving us this. They didn't have to say all of that. They just need to say, well, we cannot give you any U.S. cash at this time because there's a thing. And maybe don't call any bank name.
Right, exactly.
But you know, all of this, somebody said it's customer service. But the issue is cash, not currency, which is different.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And again, the Bible is right, brother. A soft answer turned away wrath. So if the relevant cashiers were to explain that nicely and smoothly and, you know, in a customer-friendly manner, things would be different. Let's take this other caller. Hello? Hello? Talk to me.
Yeah, Brother Blake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here again. Now, if it was just like the lady just said, that they do not give currency away with it, they don't give cash or whatever.
No, they can't at the moment. That's what she was suggesting. Right. That they cannot at the moment.
We agree that the economy slow down because the COVID got a lot of people borders closed. But we are talking about wire, and if they know those who collecting the money from the sender, they know well when the borders closed and one of the other branch do not have any U.S. currency or pounds or yen. They will tell you, well, you sending this money to send 10 U.S. They do not have any U.S. down there. So what you gonna do? That's the hard point. But the gentleman before the lady, he had up the sums perfectly right.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody have no right authority to speak for National Bank, Barclays Bank, Wire Bank. You're working in there, you're the manager, you're the CEO. You have no right speaking about them that they don't have this or they have that. It is the bank itself supposed to say, well, we don't have this or we have that. And that's my thing. They're trying to take advantage of people when they have authority and power over people who do not have the same power like what they have. Wrong is wrong and right is right.
Always.
Thank you, Brother Blake.
Very well, thank you. Okay, let's welcome our next caller. Hello.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Blake, and how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And how are you?
I'm doing wonderful, thanks for asking. In one breath, I would like to say congratulations to all the students who would have passed that amount of subjects, and to the schools, and to parents, and to all who would have taken part, have a part of in their life in that part. With this part about the Western Union thing, suppose one of these days somebody go there to collect, and then the person at the desk say, well, you will have to come back later because I don't have any US to give you. That still will be another thing, you know. I don't have any amount to give you in US, so you will have to come back later. That's still another big thing. So sometimes we just got to kind of work with the thing, because we still have to walk up and down to get the money changed sometimes. Sometimes you go buy sound your car clothes, you go buy Cindy, say, I don't have sufficient cash to change it. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you could just...
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense. No, it does not make sense. If I go to Western Union to collect $100 that my brother sent me. If I go to Western Union to collect $100 that my brother sent me, why am I going to insist on getting it in US, knowing that when I leave there, I'm heading to another institution to change it into EC? That makes no sense. Let Western Union give it to me in EC right away. So I don't understand that. Why would I demand, hey, he sent it in US, give me in US. Okay, here is it in US. Thank you. I step outside and have to go to another facility to change it. I mean, somebody has to explain the logic behind that, right? But if you need your US to in order to engage in a certain type of transaction, then so be it. But if the idea is just to collect it in US, to have to go and change it again, now if you're going to be traveling and you need it, fine and so on. But to demand that MoneyGram give it to you in US, only to have to go to this bank or this lady or this business place to change it into EC, that defies logic. Let's take another caller before we take a small, short station break and come right back. Hello?
Mr. Blake.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, this is Bungo. You know why? Because when you give me my money in US, I could go elsewhere and get 270. If they change it in Western Union, I cannot get 270 for my money. That's the reason why. Okay?
All right. Okay, all right. Let's take station break and come right back.
Eyes Radio, the pulse of the Eastern Caribbean. Proudly united, leading, serving, and entertaining.
St. Kitts and Nevis, hear this. Europa Hardware, the official steel dealer for garden power tools, announces its big Europa 6th anniversary sale. Take advantage of 15% discount off on weed eaters with a 1-pound trimmer line and a 1-liter engine oil. Chainsaws, blowers, hedge trimmers. In fact, All steel machinery store-wide is 15% off. Visit us on Keon Street in the Old Singer Building or call us at 465-4555 for Europa. Don't miss it. Europa's 6th anniversary sale, the 1st and 2nd of October. Europa Hardware, thanks to St. Kitts and Nevis for their continued support.
Honey, I just looked at the insurance for the house and realized that you put the stated value to be less than half of what the realtor says it's worth.
Yeah, I did that on purpose to keep the premium down.
But you do realize that if anything happens, we could only build back half of the house, right?
Boy, don't insure half your home. Being underinsured is as bad as not being insured. Get a certified appraiser to assess your property and make sure you insure it at the correct rebuild value. Hon, what are you doing with a tape measure?
I'm checking to see where you're going to sleep in your half a house.
Magical Insurances, fast, fair, and always there.
It's Praise on the Pulse. Join me, your host Dawn, every Wednesday night, right here on the Pulse of the Eastern Caribbean, ZIZ, as we lift up the name of the Lord. You will get the best of praise and worship music with inspiration for the nation on Praise on the Pulse. Don't miss it. Tune in every Wednesday night to the family station, ZIZ at 8 p.m. for Praise on the Pulse.
Poinciana Restaurant on the Frigate Bay Road opens daily at 11 a.m. to serve you lunch and dinner. Whether you desire to dine in or take out, Poinciana Restaurant offers both to serve you better. Call Poinciana Restaurant at 465-5216 for your lunch or dinner takeout and reservations.
Power Talk, Skelec's new electrifying 15-minute radio program, features on ZIZ every first Wednesday of each month. Tune in for the latest information on what's happening at Skelec. Learn more about doing business with us and the services we offer. Power Talk, powered by Skelec.
Every first and third Wednesday at 9:30 a.m.
Boy, why you look so unhappy? And why your car so yellow? And your paint so dull?
Boy, Ruckus, to be honest, right? Me kind of bad state, you know. And I realize, but I ain't even know where to go. I will want my car look and feel brand new again. Give me that good up feeling, you know what I mean?
Well, look no further, me boy. Double the services after the detailing could get your lights bright as ever and buff your car like brand new. I wanna say brand new, I mean brand new. The man hard, I tell you. You just got to wear shades after he finished with your vehicle because it is so bright.
Well. That sounds excellent, Jed. Give me your number and location, you see? Let me book an appointment.
Double the Services is located at Limefield Project in the village, Bastia, St. Kitts. You can contact them at 763-9362. You can also locate them on Facebook, Google, and Instagram. Double D Services, perfection in the details.
Okay, we're back with you on Frank and Candid. Just before the break, we had former national footballer Bungu explain that some persons insist on getting their monies in US because they can get slightly more, and it's always slightly more, it is never much more, if they change it, convert it to EC in a different facility, so that you may get $2.70 in this place, whereas Western Union might only be giving you $2.65 or $2.67 as the case may be. So the difference really is not large, but Bunga might be right. That's why some people insist on getting theirs in US currency. I have another point to raise after this. Caller, hello. Okay, we are going to take him now. Welcome. Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Okay, talk to me, sir.
Yes. It may not just be a customer service issue. I know of other companies that deal with U.S. cash, which says that their bankers actually have controls. They don't say problems with dispensing large amounts of U.S. cash as usual. Okay? So it's not a question of speaking for other banks when they say that there's no U.S. in the country. They are handling...
No, when they say there's no U.S. in a particular bank.
Well, not any particular bank.
Yeah.
Okay? I think it's more a case where they're handling the issue with as much finesse as not to cause any kind of panic. Because it raises another problem that we used to have many decades ago that we're not accustomed to having in more recent times. and that is balance of payments. We have to pay for our imports in U.S. dollars. Essentially, that's the standard, right? And our currency, the EC dollar, is tied to it. If we don't have enough reserves in U.S. currency to back our dollar, then we are in trouble. Generally, the last thing our country, any country in our position with so much dependency on the U.S. dollar would want to do. The last thing we'd want to do right now is to have a black market in the currency. Okay, you have to be trading on the black market in that currency, because that would mask a lot of things and create problems, financial institutions. Okay, and it would also give us less controls on things like inflation. So what we are actually seeing here, I think, at the counter of places like Western Union, is really a manifestation of a much larger problem that the central bank, the government, the financial institutions, and even individual companies are grappling with right now. They have to be very careful in how they're handling it. Okay, and while we, the ordinary person, we just want, if somebody send money in U.S. dollars, we just want our U.S. I don't know why, because I don't know if it's because people like to see U.S. dollars just for seeing its sake, because there's always that exchange rate that like I mentioned before, they were tied to. So it isn't that they're going to be losing anything. As a matter of fact, anytime you have a transaction between U.S. dollars and you have to buy it here, you normally lose even a little bit. You notice that the bank rate, for instance, is less than the when the bank is buying U.S. dollars, they buy it for less. When
they sell it to you,
definitely. They sell it for more. So there is that. Okay. So I don't think we should overblow it. Like I said, we don't want to create any panic one way or the other. We certainly don't want either that people start hoarding U.S. dollars, because if they hoard them and don't or can't spend them, that's not helping the economy either. Okay, I think we just have to be calm and collected about this, and don't sensationalize it, don't panic. Eventually things will get back to normal, we hope.
Yeah, thank you, but I think that I don't agree with you that I want to believe that sometimes it's a lack of finesse on the part of the tellers, the clerks, the cashiers, and so on. A lack of finesse, as opposed to an example of finesse in operation. Because if they were to be more polite, more customer-centered in terms of their response and how they explain things, I think customers would leave far more satisfied and far more calm than they otherwise would. And with respect to, before I take this other call, the question of the black market, I am not one of those who like to refer to that. Everything negative is black. We need to find a different expression. That's my view. I like to refer to it as the underground market, the underground economy, if you wish. But anything that is black is supposed to be beautiful, and so this is just one of many cases, many instances where something that is of negative connotation has the word black ascribed to it. But let's take this other caller. Hello. Hello.
ZIZ?
This is ZIZ, Frank and Candid. Yes, sir.
I'm calling for the program. I wanted to find out something, but I can't call, ask the question again.
I'm not sure I follow you.
Huh?
What are you saying?
I wanted to find out something, but I don't know if it's a live program at the moment.
Yes, you're live on ZIZ. You're live on Frank and Candid.
Yeah, I don't want to call into the program. I wanted to find out something, but it's alright.
Very well, sir. Okay, next time. Hello? Let's take another caller. Yes, sir. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, wrong number.
No problem. We take another one.
Yes.
Sorry, Brother Blake.
Okay.
I would like to know where in the world any employee will be told by their boss, I'm going to give you $100 more on your money. From this month, you're going to get $100 more. Which one of them will tell the boss, no, you don't have to increase my money, give me a raise. Just take off something off of what you already pay me, give me less. That is what Bungo was explaining. When they change your money in India, you get less than the 270. So why they want to change it in India to give you less and don't let you go and change it where you could get more? Now, if you have a son, a child in America, in a different U.S. state, and they're supposed to go and have a surgery, and they need some money, that's where you want your U.S. from India to send to your child up in Alaska, while the money coming from California. Give me in U.S., let me send it up there to my child. They change out nothing, and then I still have to go come back in there, come boy U.S. to send up there. Give you the money, just look how we send. And I agree with you, this black thing but black. That is how people look at the color black. Black is beautiful. Say it loud. We are black and we are proud. Don't degrade black and call him black market. What black market? Thank you, Brother Blake.
Okay, thanks to you. We have yet another caller. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Am I on?
Yes, you are.
Yes, good morning. I'm listening to your conversation, and you know, some people collect their US and save it. It's not sometimes when people ask for the money in US, it's not because they're ready to go and spend it.
Okay.
They put it up for when they're ready to go on vacation. So that's the reason why a lot of people don't want their money in US.
Okay.
You have a good day. Culture, good morning. My brother in Christ, Monstrat, good morning. And Connery, I love you, good morning. Have a blessed day, everyone.
Okay, hello. I like to hear that lady tell you the truth.
Yes, good morning again.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
I believe the last caller supported what I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, you made a point saying that the banks are not authorized to determine who has money and who don't have money.
No, the agencies such as Western Union and so on. Yeah, they don't have the authority to speak.
The central bank, the only bank can tell us what's really going on, and we reserve a proclamation about we probably have something and making an assumption.
Okay.
I believe that the central bank is the one who will come and say, look, we have a problem with reserve, because naturally, because of COVID, they have to make certain transaction and arrangement with the reserves they have in the currency. There's a lot of businesses in St. Kitts that operate outside of what the other caller said, operate where the quote in US. You know, I mean, you know, real estate, the quote in US, a lot of businesses quote in US.
Yes.
So the US is a secondary currency here, whether you want to believe it or not. And like the last caller mentioned, that people would also like to save the money to go on a vacation. If you want to get somebody going away, you know, and they want to buy something for you, to give them a US. So US is a very, very highly used currency here. Granted that there could be a problem, but anybody to speak on that should be the central bank. That is my opinion.
Very well, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, I will respect your opinion. Yeah, help me out here, right? Okay, hello, caller. All right. Yes, hello.
Oh, yes, good morning.
To you.
Hey, Mr. Blake.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. I hear listening to the program and I'm trying to understand something.
Of course.
If I'm on the other end sending money here to a family member of mine, a friend, or whosoever,
yes,
and I want them to get it in US. Now the exchange rate here, I don't know how the system got, because I never receive or send money to anybody.
Right, neither have I.
Overseas. So I really don't know. But listen to the conversation. They want to get it in EC. Now, if they can pay over on the other end that I want them to get in EC 270 or the straight US dollars, they can do that. I hear the difference between converting to EC and US.
No.
Or do they give the money? Do they give the recipient here the dollars based on the rate at the time?
My understanding is that when folks are sending, the sender, let's say the sender's in New York, the facility that he's using, the agency that he's using, asks him whether he would like the recipient here in St. Kitts to receive the money in the local currency or in US. At the same time, if for some of these institutions, or on some occasions, for some people, when they do go to collect the monies that were sent by the person in New York, he or she is asked, would you like to get this money in EC or in US? But
Right.
some persons are saying, in as much as they would like to get theirs in US, they are being told they can't. So it's a bit of a conundrum here, because some persons are saying they always get theirs in US, others are saying they're given a choice, and now some are saying they do not get it in the currency which they wish, which by and large is the US currency, because they tend to get more, they have to change it into EC, they tend to get more at the facility other than the MoneyGram or Western Union. Of course, there are other reasons why people would want their monies in US. They would want it for other reasons which have been explained by some other callers.
Mr. Burke, let me ask a question. At what rate they get the US, they get the exchange here?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I've never received any. Maybe somebody could call in and say, what rate does MoneyGram or Western Union
Yeah, because I'm a little confused when I keep listening to it. I can understand that if you feel that you want your US straight, then I totally agree with that. And then get your US, you decide to change it and whatever rate the bank is giving at the time. But if they're going to give you in US, in EC, then the question is how much they're going to give you in EC per US dollar. You understand my point?
Right, yes.
So if somebody out there could explain that.
And there are facilities that give more than the bank. The exchange rate is higher in some outside entities out comparative in comparison with the bank. The banks do not give 270, but there are other facilities which do. All right. So
yes, I know. Okay, thank you.
Right, you're welcome. I do not know how much it is that Western Union or MoneyGram or Kia, what their exchange rate is. Hello, caller.
Yeah, good morning. This is Mr. Blake?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Just last week Friday, I sent some money to St. Kitts, and I use Western Union. And basically, they show you, well, I did it from my phone, and it showed me the exchange rate of 266.
2.66, okay.
EC.
Right, of course.
For $100. And there's no such thing about what currency you want it in, or you would like the receiver to get it in. They make sure they show you the exchange rate.
No, but some persons are insisting that they're giving that preference.
I'm hearing things like, would you? I really don't understand what's going on. But let me put a ribbon around the package. Everybody wants U.S. money. Why don't we just use U.S. currency? At the end of the day, when you go to order something, it has to be done in U.S. dollars.
Yeah, but
I'm telling you, it's cheaper to purchase the U.S. dollar. You won't have to print it. You just purchase it from whether the U.S. Treasury or the U.S. Mint, and you get the authorization to use it, and you just use it.
Yeah, well, there are those who would argue that cheapens. Hello, that compromises, that cheapens our independence. That we are now becoming a subject of the Yankee American dollar. If we were to adopt the U.S. dollar as our currency, some would see it as a diminution of our independence. In other words, we have returned to the tutelage of Americanism, American imperialism. So I am not so sure how. But that's a question that would have to be taken up by the governmental authorities, of course, after a lot of discussion with the public and with all the relevant stakeholders. But for now, we will be sticking with our EC dollar. I'm sure that's going to be the case for the foreseeable future. But thank you very much for your input.
Hi, Mr. Blake.
Yes, ma'am.
100 US is $268.85.
You see that? 268. Somebody just called and said it's 266.
It's 2.6882264.
That is as of today.
I have a paper right in my hand here now.
Yeah, but remember, this fluctuates on a daily basis, eh?
Mm-hmm.
The exchange rate fluctuates on a daily basis, so maybe this individual.
Most of the time it's 268 because I always take EC and it's 268. I just get
268. I see.
Their rate, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, right.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. The difference between 2.66 and 2.68 and 2.7 really is not critical. The difference is really small. Let's take another caller. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Blake, but there are companies that give 265
So what do you mean?
250. So there are a lot of fluctuations. So this is the problem that we're saying here, why people need to have US dollars. So you go out of place and you get 265, you get as low down at 250.
2.50?
Yes. There's some places you go to, you get 250.
You mean from these particular agencies?
On the US dollar, $2.50.
You're making
I
jokes.
don't want to call the company's name.
No, we're talking about Western Union, MoneyGram, Kia, or RIA, I think it is, not Kia, RIA.
And they're talking about service charge or exchange rate and all kind of stuff, they tell you.
So are you saying, caller, that in some cases the exchange rate when you receive your money is as low as 2.50?
Yeah.
Wow.
That happens.
Okay.
So that's the reason why I'm saying that. The only person who has the authority to talk about the result is the ECCB. You can make assumptions saying, hey, the funds are not coming through because the borders are closed and so forth. But it's an assumption.
Okay.
But if you need a proper, relief, the ECCB will tell us what the results are because you must have additional US to compensate for COVID. That's just, common sense.
Very well.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Now, if some person is actually receiving 2.50, I can agree with Bungo. Everybody would want their money in US then, because then you go elsewhere, even in the bank, which gives you 2.67, I think, it would be much different from 2.50. But I had no idea it was that low. I mean, I think that sounds illegal to me. But let's take another caller. Hello?
Yes.
Not illegal, so that's immoral. Sorry. Hello, yes.
Yes, Mr. Bank, just for clarification, what term would you use instead of black market, you said?
I said you're on the ground.
On the ground?
Yeah, that's just my thing,
But you know that is the regular term used, though, right? You understood that?
Of course, yeah, of course. And I'm saying listen, there are people who refer to their children as kids, as if it's the norm, as if it's totally correct. This man, I never refer to my children or any other children, and I've been a teacher all my life dealing with children, as kids. I just don't accept that because I'm aware of the connotation and the implications and so on. So I do not accept the term market.
Fair enough. But in the financial jargon, I suppose the experts would know what you mean by underground. But for most everybody else, I think they would accept black market.
So be it.
Yeah.
We accept a lot of things which we shouldn't, brother. That is why we haven't achieved much,
You really think so?
Yes, I think so.
You think the misuse of the word black is causing a problem?
The psychology of it,
I can understand in other
the
cases.
sociology of it, the history of it, definitely.
You think so?
I absolutely think so.
Okay, it would be interesting to research the history of why it is called black market, because I'm not sure it's
yeah, but even if the historical origins don't necessarily do not necessarily mean that they were demeaning blacks. The fact of the matter is that today, in 2020, we are aware of what that connotes, what the question of black and blackism and blackness connotes and denotes. And I'm saying that because
I understand what you mean by the connotation.
Because the black market is not referring to anything positive, I am not going to I'm not one of those willing to accept it. I would like to see it.
Hey, the black market could be good,
Well, in Cuba, for example, it's only via the black market one can obtain certain goods.
Of course,
and services. But let's use a different term.
It can go both ways.
Why can't it be the white market?
but the black market is good. It keeps down prices.
All right, sir. Thank you. I mean, why can't it be the pink market if we want to use a color? I don't understand that at all. You have another caller? Okay. Matter of fact, let me make this point quickly. I just don't understand why is it that black people are referred to as colored. So white is not a color. White is not a color. Only black is a color? Or what is this? So only black people are colored people? I mean, what is this? Anyway, that's for different time and place. But I don't believe we should just sit back and accept things, even if we inherited them. There are times we need to question that particular history and change it. All right, I wanted to talk a little bit about the 6 exams and the results and what currently obtains, but we'll have to do that tomorrow, hopefully, because time is up, more or less. And I want to thank the many callers who participated in the discussion with respect to remittances or monies sent from abroad to St. Kitts, and whether people should in fact be entitled to receive the monies in a particular currency, the sending currency, that is. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I thoroughly appreciate that. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. I look forward to doing it again tomorrow. And until then, do the right thing.
You've been listening to Frank and Candid right here on ZIZ Radio. Join us again tomorrow at 11 for another presentation of Frank and Candid, sponsored by Europa.
St. Kitts and Nevis, hear this. Europa Hardware, the official steel dealer for garden power tools, announces its big Europa 6th anniversary sale. Take advantage of 15% discount off on weed eaters with a 1-pound trimmer line and a 1-liter engine oil. Chainsaws, blowers, hedge trimmers. In fact, all steel machinery store-wide is 15% off. Visit us on Keon Street in the Old Singer Building or call us at 465-4555 for Europa. Don't miss it. Europa's 6th anniversary sale, the 1st and 2nd of October. Europa Hardware, thanks to St. Kitts and Nevis for their continued support.
ZIZ Radio, the pulse of the Eastern Caribbean. Proudly united in leading, serving, and entertaining.
To avoid getting the coronavirus, remember to wash your hands thoroughly and frequently before and after preparing food, after using the toilet or changing a diaper for a baby, sick person, or the elderly, after blowing your nose, and after leaving large gatherings or moving away from persons who appear ill. Encourage others to wash their hands and also use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer of 60 to 70% solution. Stay away from events having large gatherings of people. You can expose yourself to more possible infections in large groups. Also, avoid sharing cutlery, cups, glassware, etc. with others. Viruses can linger on these items and may be transferred this way. Avoid shaking and holding hands, and hugging or keeping an infected person in close proximity. This is a message from the Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
ZIZ Radio, the pulse of the Eastern Caribbean. Proudly united in leading, serving, and entertaining. Well, it's just about 12 o'clock in the studios of ZIZ Radio. Coming up next, it's the Midday News, sponsored by Delta Petroleum, KFC, and Amerijet. Stay tuned for the Midday News coming up.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world. Whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous, you can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us on the web at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises 466-9595.
ZIZ Radio, the pulse of the Eastern Caribbean. Proudly united in leading, serving, and entertaining.